Alright, we're recording again. Welcome back to the Alexandrian Codex. I'm Alex. This is Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. Let's get back to Venturi.
By nightfall, the hospitality of this sleepy hamlet, combined with their superstitious tales, has both overstuffed your stomach and filled you with a hollow dread. Folks say these woods are full of apparitions, witches, and worse. You curse yourself for getting on the road so late.
Walk on.
In the moonlight, every valley and hollow at the feet of the Tappan Zee seems like a stolen shred of the abyss itself. Fireside tales seem less fanciful, and every cackling crow and moaning whippoorwill seems like a demon perched on the shivering, spindly trees.
Yeah, that sounds like fall in New England.
But something cuts through the noise. The muffled sound of hooves galloping on the cold, muddy road. When he finally slows his horse alongside you, it's as though he had just appeared out of the mist.
Look at him.
He's astride a gigantic black courser.
Oh yeah, that's not.
And though his boots are muddy and ragged, he wears an immaculate coat with great, shining buttons. From his saddle hangs an antiquated flintlock and a cavalry saber.
Huh.
In the darkness, you can hardly see above his towering shoulders.
Jack? Greet the rider.
His voice is a rumbling croak, deep, but as though his throat is filled with thorns. Have you happened upon a cannonball around here? You can tell English isn't his first language. German is. His hand, so pale it's almost blue in the moonlight, grips the reins in a fist.
Run the hell away, or sorry I haven't. No need to run away. I mean, he hasn't been aggressive. Yeah, got a dead Hessian mercenary, I guess. Sorry I haven't.
You mumble an apology and watch as he silently rides away, back into the mist. He's cloaked in black, you notice from behind, but the blood running down over his shoulders glints crimson in the moonlight.
Dope.
A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another.
What's going on?
The man with the truck leaps into the street.
"Brother!"
he shouts. The one on the horse tumbles out of his saddle.
"Brother!"
he screams. They embrace in the road.
30 years!
Hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him.
No, 32!
Okay, so if this is set in the Great Depression, the Depression lasts until like 38, 39, 40, depending on when you want to end it, but the second time Roosevelt was elected. So this is sometime during the 30s, so 30 years ago would either be right at the turn of the century or right before the turn of the century. So 1898 is the end of the Spanish-American War, so if it were 32 years, maybe that's where they got separated? Who knows? Oh, wow.
Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling.
"Take a photo of us!"
The driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck.
Alright, you got it.
The long-lost brothers pose in front of traffic, cry snot pouring out of their noses. As angry passerby wave you out of the road, each brother presses a coin into your hand. When the traffic disperses, you realize they overpaid you quite a shocking amount.
I guess a dollar was worth a lot back then. Alright, yeah, move on. Let's check out Boston before we head on up to... back up the coast. Red brick, green trees, blue sky. This weather, Boston is beautiful. That is, until you make your way deeper into the city and get lost along the cramped, winding, shadow-haunted old streets. This game should win an award just for the phrase Christ not. Yeah, God, the writing is so fucking good. Well, let's explore.
This city is like no other you've been to. Crooked streets splay out in a maze of narrow passages, no two alike. Soon, you find yourself in twilight, utterly lost. Bright light crests around one corner, a car approaching.
No, I don't think we have anything from the moon. So hailing the taxicab could be nice just for variety, but let's keep walking.
Unable to afford rescue, you keep walking. The asphalt turns to crooked cobblestones that threaten to wrench your ankle out of place. Was this always a moonless night? The stars multiply, each one looking like a pinprick through which light is exiting the terrestrial world.
Keep walking.
It's hard finding your way through in pitch darkness. You go by touch and sound, feeling the scale of the streets by the echoing of your footsteps.
That's cool.
Fingers tracing the rough surface of the buildings. And then, a rumble of noise in the distance.
Give it a listen.
You quiet yourself, suddenly fearful. The clear sky
Fucking
tells
what?
you it's not thunder, but cannon fire. The city comes alive with fires and shouting. You find yourself trampled by a mob of men in thick brown coats, a phalanx of bayonets advancing up the street.
Kind of labor riot or something? It's in the middle of the night. Ah!
When you come to, there's no sign of the commotion, the war that you were just caught in. The comically shrill honk of a Model A running up the road startles you, and you crawl toward the sidewalk. Above, the sky is a sharp, cold, cloudless blue.
The war. Well, the American Civil War never made it to Boston. There were some conflicts between National Guard units, which didn't become a thing until later, but army and worker riots and gang riots could be referring to that. Could actually be referring to the American Revolutionary War, but we didn't wear brown coats. For the most part, we wore blue because we had clothing imported from France. Army uniforms from France, for the most part. Huh. Don't know what that's in reference to. And Boston certainly wasn't involved in the War of 1812, to my knowledge. Maybe. Move on. Hot apple cider. Fuck, that sounds good right now. Let's not buy anything. Let's earn money. I mean, our money meter's already full, but it couldn't hurt, right? Well, maybe it could. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. Come back later. God, I love the whistling mechanic. Hold Q to hitchhike. My dude! I don't need to
The woman
hitchhike.
walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis. a confident stride, and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise.
Ask
You
around.
question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date, and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit. You decide to seek a second opinion. You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner. Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere as far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
You could ask her. Well, yeah, let's just ask her
You
ourselves.
ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench. You may. Lovely outside, isn't it? Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat. Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
Yeah, Gloria. I think she is the decapitated woman. It's kind of cool. Maybe this story in our telling it will wrap its way back around and getting back to us, that it'll turn into the story that is told about the woman with the yellow ribbon. Who knows?
They don't come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore.
Well, let's ask why. We're asking why because I'm curious, and because we don't have enough moon cards, or any, I think.
Just when the fishing is gonna be good. He taps great, black, thick globs of spent tobacco out of a huge ceramic pipe.
Gross.
I got another year, I guess.
One more year what?
Another year of this town being here, he replies, letting a grin spread across his face. If the seagulls came, that means enough fish to keep it in place.
I mean... Sure. So there's this. We started up here, so if I go back up here, it's just gonna lead us in a loop. God, I love that the map shows me where I've been. Oh, so we've never made it up to where this boy is. Oh, and the characters we're likely to run into are drawn on the map where they are. Oh, that's so neat. Go down to Georgia, Alabama. Jesus Christ, we live in a big country. What's chilling in Seattle? I gotta know. Nothing. Well, you know I'm gonna go there. God, I want to do everything in every state, which is tempting, but it's gonna take a while. But I guess that's fine, because I wanted a new series.
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open, with a daunting staircase before you.
Let's climb up.
At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees.
Hell on my knees.
Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door.
Let's put our ear up to the door.
Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough. Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door. Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. I always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead.
Yeah, the levers card, huh?
After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand.
Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in.
Despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. Tea? He offers, hoisting a teapot.
Oh, must be lonely up here.
Oh, we manage.
The tall one sits on the sofa, casually wrapping an arm around the other lighthouse keeper.
The quiet suits us just fine.
He needs his quiet time. He's a writer. The tall one grunts.
I dabble. But you must have some good stories from the road.
Well, I have some.
You wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes. Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave.
Move on. See, they're not all scary. Some are just about cute gay couples living in lighthouses together. Wait, Portland. Can I click on Portland? It has a white center, and if it... No, good. I say good because if we could have, I would have missed a lot up until now. Nope, no. Ah, I missed the car. Where do I want to go? I kind of want to finish upstate New York. Rochester, I think, is where Quinn went. And although we don't really have the sorts of stories that Quinn wants, I do want to wrap up every state completely before moving on to the next state. That's an X over it. Hello. These folks are setting up a cooking tent in the corner of a fairground. Beyond them, bigger tents rise like clouds. Want to make some cash? Manage your ass a long, hot day serving funnel cakes and busting tables in the dining tents. You're paid well. Fucking funnel cakes. I want it. Bring me funnel cakes, game. Ah. Funnel cakes and hot apple cider. Ah, I'm hungry. Nope, can't do it yet. It's close. I love that it starts out relatively simple but gets more complicated over time. And also that the music in the background fades out as you whistle more and more so that the audio can focus more on this. I was complaining about Surviving Mars not doing this when it has multiple audio tracks in, and this game is doing it beautifully.
The hotel is an old manor house that's seen better days. A grand structure surmounted by a gambrel roof that dwarfs the house itself. It's eerily still, but for two boys at play. each one so small and light, they barely leave tracks in the deep snow.
Now let's watch kids.
They seem
Nothing
old
creepy
for
about
their
that.
size, around 10 years old. Though their clothes are mismatched, they're perfectly identical, down to the pattern of freckles on their pale cheeks.
Ah,
They conduct their games in eerie silence.
that's unusual even amongst identical twins because freckles can arise from exposure to sunlight or sickness or stuff like that. Not freckles, but skin marks, body marks, pock marks, stuff like that. Typically, they're not genetic, not entirely genetic, so that's cool.
The clerk behind the counter is old, and your room key is worn. But night approaches, and the price is low. Just before you shut the room door, there they are,
Well,
the twins, staring at you from the corridor.
to clarify what I was saying, predisposition towards having freckles is genetic, but exactly where you will get freckles and how many, and at what point in your life they'll show up due to what exposure, that's sort of genetic, but that's more, God damn it, based on nurture, not nature. Get some sleep.
In the morning, as you leave, the clerk asks, "Did you sleep well?"
No, it's telling the truth.
Too tired to lie, you tell him about the noise outside your door. The trampling of small
they're both
feet
demons
on the
again.
corridor outside. The dreams disturbed with violent and hideous images.
Oh,
"That's odd," he says, weak-eyed. "There are no children staying with us."
alright. Shining. I went to school. These lakes right here, I think are called the Finger Lakes. I went to school pretty near them.
As you walk along the river near an unfinished bridge, a man with a tool belt catches sight of you. "Hey, over there," he calls out. "You look like you could use a quick way to get some hard-earned money." Hard-earned is right. The bridge hangs high over a perilous drop.
Is it safe? No, of course it's not safe, and I'm a skeleton man, so let's accept.
"Great!" he exclaims. "Suppose you'll want a safety belt. We Thunderbird people don't need 'em. We fly when we fall." He chuckles.
Belt up.
You find yourself up high, looking over the rushing river that crashes around the foundation of the bridge. As you work side by side, the man mentions, "You can see Thunderbirds up here if you know how to look."
Oh, wait a minute. Thunderbirds. And his accent? Inquire?
You ask him to explain. "Practice your peripheral vision, if you dare. Last thing you need up here is for them to see you seeing them and come swooping at you,"
Is he
he
supposed to be
says laughingly.
of indigenous descent? Try.
You only see the clouds thicken. It sure does pass the time working. The man pays you well when you're done with the job.
Move on. Maybe? Didn't know that Buffalo, not Rochester. Rochester's up that way. Didn't know that Buffalo had a large indigenous community. It's farmers loitering beside a couple crates of berries, idly watching the clouds go by. Waiting for the pickup, he says, trying to make small talk. Hey, want to hear a wild story? Abso-fucking-lutely. He starts telling you about the fortune teller whose dark past stained the souls of all of her clients. It takes a couple minutes, but suddenly you recognize it. Ah, this is so cool! Recognizes the story about the fortune teller and the curse. Whoever told it to the farmer changed, well, a lot, but it's still pretty good. Where'd you hear that story? Oh, I can't remember. Think I've known it for years, since I was a boy, for sure. That can't be right. Leaving with this tale, or if that story happened to me. Bullshit! His laughter rings down the dusty road. You're a good joker, I'll give you that. Fuck, that's so cool! I love this as a game mechanic. Also, apparently, across from Buffalo, Canada's just water. No, hold on. Hold on. I mean, it's a thin crossing over, but it's thin enough that you should be able to see, right? From Buffalo. Oh, hey, little factoid. Buffalo is a sentence that is grammatically correct in English. Yeah, we're right where the fucking Niagara Falls should be. We should be able to see Canada as not water right here. To buffalo someone is a verb. Buffalo is a noun in that, you know, the animal buffalo. It's, yeah, Google it. Buffalo. I promise I'm not making it up. And if I am, well then, you'd be able to call me on it. Let's camp. Quinn, Claire's Siren, and Silver String Media, Chapter 2.
Stranger, it's good to see you again. You know, I'm gonna see this
Why are
whole
we in a
world
graveyard,
one
Quinn?
day. But for now, I just got my sights set on seeing all 48 of the great U.S.
Oh, because Alaska and Hawaii aren't part of the... Yeah.
I already seen 10 whole states. That's better than my folks ever done, that's for sure.
I think I've been to all lower 48. Yeah, I've been to all lower 48 states. Weird. Alright.
Plenty of townies and even some tramps treat me like I'm kid simple. But I ain't helpless, and I only act it when I ain't got no better choice. Like if I get pinched. I do right fine on my own. Don't need nobody but Cass and Flip.
And Cass is the big one. Flip is the little one. I remember this.
I want a story that scares me. Now I'm older.
Where was this
nobody
before?
Can do it. Give me your best shot.
Quinn, my dude, why didn't you ask this when all I had was scary stories? Alright. Well, 9 of Swords, sadness. Elegant Woman, they already know the story about the winged goat. I can't tell them this. Alright, Thunderstorm was kind of scary. Two Brothers, that's sweet. Seagulls is not scary. That's interesting. I want to call that scary. Nah, that wasn't scary. Bridge Builders up by Buffalo. Boy who ran away with his father. Nah. Drunk Lineman. The light from the sky in the northeast. This was pretty creepy, but not scary. Thunderstorm is probably the best fit. I've told him so many goddamn scary stories. Tell him about the Thunderstorm.
Not sure I quite follow that one.
Quinn, you wanted scary. It was a scary storm.
This country. I don't rightly know what this thing called America is. I know what I done been told in school, but the words don't fit the picture.
Fuck yeah, Quinn.
What with tramping across the whole thing, figure I'll find out for myself soon enough. I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something.
Got it.
Scary stuff.
Got it, yep. Yeah, you just said that. Ghosts. Ghosts. I got some ghosts for you. Nah, Two Brothers. Nah, no. Cute gay couple. Nope. Nope. Strange clamor on the streets of Boston. Ghosts. Tell the story of strange clamor on the streets of Boston.
You spin a good yarn.
Yeah!
I was shivering there for a little bit. And the past is just that. Past. The whole world is at my feet, so why bother talking about the one place I can't go to no more? I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff.
I love you, kid. Alright, Elegant Woman in the Small Town. This isn't super scary, it's a little creepy. This is just sad. This, I think, is creepy. These aren't scary. I'm gonna tell him about the story of the light from the sky in the northeast.
Wow.
Yeah!
That's the stuff, stranger.
Cool.
Spooky campfire tales are my favorite.
Ooh, bitrate. Bitrate's having a bad time.
You want to talk about heaven? Ain't no good I can recall coming my life from praying.
Quinn, my dude, I love you.
Small things, big things, no answer all the same.
Yup.
Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those.
Thrilling. Seagulls were not thrilling. Women arrested for bootlegging? I don't know if I'd call this thrilling. Yeah, the two brothers separated after 30 years, reconnected. That's kind of exciting. Thrilling? Maybe not, but... Tell the story of two brothers reconnected
What's
after
the
30
use of telling
years.
sweet happy tales if in the make you snooze?
God damn it.
There you go, talking about family. Like I said, don't need nobody but my dogs. Flip's still a little green. Found him starving and angry by the roadside a few months back. He gets riled now and again, but he don't do nothing too bad if you just wait and let him get it out of his system. He's good to have around most times, and Cash sure seems to enjoy the company. I'm in the mood for something real funny-like.
Do what I can, kid, but I do not have any humor. This is cute, but not funny. Pigeon Keeper? This was just weird and creepy, not funny. Elegant woman? Nah, not funny. Nope. Drunk lineman? Ghost man in the woods? This isn't funny, it's more just weird. How did he get there? Not a lot of funny things. Let's tell him about the women arrested for bootlegging. I don't think it's funny, but fuck it.
Not sure I quite follow that one.
Yeah, no kidding. That's okay, quit.
Authority. The coppers and rail yard dicks don't ruffle me none. I just tell them my poor ma and my poor pa died of the pneumonia.
Damn it. The pneumonia.
I give them crocodile tears about trying to get over to my grand just down the way. All I got's left is my dogs, mister. Works damn near every time. Well, sun's coming up, so I've got to get ready to go.
Damn it.
Thanks for the tales, friend.
Quinn!
Where you heading next?
Oh, you heading
Decided
over to
yet? Maybe our paths will
Michigan land.
cross. I'm going up the road this way myself.
Alright, cool.
Hope I'll see something fun. I generally do, you know. There's interesting things to see everywhere if you keep your eyes open.
Fuck. Okay, well, it's not that bad. So where do we want to go from this? We've cleaned out New York. We're not done in Pennsylvania. So maybe we should swoop down Pennsylvania, go back to DC, because we never actually did clear out DC. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll just head here, clear out Pennsylvania. Why is there this line here? Are there other lines like that around the map? Yeah, like here. Is that Route 66 or something? It's I-79? I don't know what this is. Is this a road? This must be a road. Well, all the same, we'll head south... west? Fuck. Wait, a story popped up? No, don't tell me stories are dynamic and will pop up where I've already been. After gossiping for a while about the weather and the crops and state of the world, all bad and getting worse, he takes a different tack. Unlike someone with a good story, he wheezes. Try this one on for size. After loudly and repeatedly clearing his throat, tells you the story of the devil who leads. Sounds a lot like the story of the weaned goat by the pristine water, but some parts changed and other parts added. Listen to the tale. When he grins up at you at the conclusion of the tale, you give him an effusive praise he's apparently expecting. You have to remember that version, even if it's not quite what happened. It's a good story. Wait a minute, have we been exactly here before? Well, it doesn't hurt if I'm getting more stories. We're high on pickers. Fireman says, only today. He drives you over. 30 or 40 people already making a slow way across an impossibly vast field that touches a hazy horizon. Backbreaking work, but the folks are friendly. Pays okay. Can I walk over this? I can! You don't have to go around mountains? Fuck! Cool. Pittsburgh. The policeman in the truck on the corner is having a pretty wild argument with someone on the other end of the radio. No! He keeps saying, no way! You listen as the man on the radio finishes a wild story about the rising workers' movement in New York. Wait a second. I swear, this is what happened. Cop said over the radio insists. That's when it clicks. You know this story. It's a stranger version of the story that determined socialists in New York, but some bits left out or replaced. Ain't true, the cop in the truck sighs. If only he knew. Move along. Cool, so our stories are getting better because we told them. Dope.
The women are oblivious to your approach. Their eyes are shut. Their touch, where they hold hands, is gentle. They speak in low tones. One stifles a burst of laughter, but it brings a smile to their faces.
Sorry,
Says the one who laughed.
don't be.
Another assures her.
Oh, it's
They
past
don't
life
look
quietly.
up.
Don't
And we
bother
give
him.
thanks for those who have left us, who we wanted gone, for the skills to thrive without them, and for the companions who make the effort joyful.
The voice of the youngest wavers. The woman to her left squeezes her hand. This is not a scene to intrude upon.
Yeah, definitely isn't. Sweet, but... That graphic design, though. Here, what river is this? Oh, I don't know. Is it the Ohio River? Ohio? That's so cool! You have the name of the river flowing down the river the way that the river would flow. That's so unnecessary, but so cool.
Muddling through the dark, you stumble into the path of the white deer.
Oh shit, it's Life is Strange.
Its beauty strikes you at once. It is something otherworldly, beyond borders. A moon swimming in the void. Human shouts not far away break the spell. The deer's ears prick up. This thing is being hunted.
It's a white heart, so we help it.
You know a way out of here. As the hunter's cries get louder, you approach the deer carefully, palms outstretched. As you grow close, your features become clearer in the light of the deer's aura. It bolts into the path of an oncoming train.
Fuck. Well, so much for trying to help. We can go to Ohio, but I don't really want to. Like I was saying, I'd like to make our way straight west and hit up DC. Then Maryland, then Virginia, then maybe West Virginia, North Carolina. I'd like to work our way down the East Coast, maybe round the South, and then fly over country on the way back over. I don't know. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Oh, damn it. Wait a minute, was Pittsburgh interactable and I just walked past it? Oh, it might have been. It may have been. It's too little too late now. Let's swing by Philly before we work our way down to DC. Wow. Listen to this! Bursts the boy loitering outside the grocery store. He works his way through a long and strange story about two brothers who wandered in seeking one another after for 50 years. Not 30, but 50. There, he finishes. What do you think? Wait a minute. Holy shit, you know this story. It's a story of the two brothers who reconnected after 30 years apart, but wildly altered. For a couple moments, you're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists. What do you think about that one? It's a great story. He smiles sheepishly. Thanks. I heard it from my brother. Who dis? New camp, who dis? Mason, by Sidney Meeker.
My twin brother Paul and I always got into trouble, but we were good. We didn't do nothing to anybody till we left. Then we hurt a lot of people. Me, more so than Paul, because he didn't make it through.
He doesn't look that old, so they have to be talking about the Great War.
The march I was on, the bonus army. It's less a bonus and more an acknowledgement of what I've had to suffer. Civilians will never understand. Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
Fuck, dude. No pressure, right? Okay. Yeah, that's not a joke. Neither of those are funny. Nope, nothing funny there. Nope. 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 Quinn's Adventures. This isn't funny, though. Quinn is kind of lighthearted in a Huckleberry Finn kind of way. Maybe Quinn. Not a joke. Nope. Neither of these are funny. Not funny. Not funny. This is kind of heartwarming, but it's more like Lovers kind of way. Lovers. Nah. Massive Thunderstorm. Fuck, I don't have anything funny. Alright, let's tell him about Quinn. Tell the story of Quinn's adventures, focusing on the funny parts.
Wish I could tell that one to my sister.
Ah, cool. Okay. Thanks, Quinn.
Travel. Well, this walk feels like a little bit of freedom now and again. The flowers along the road make for a fine company.
They do.
So anyway, tell me a funny story.
Shit.
You seem like you know a few good ones.
You're as bad as Quinn. And I have already told you about Quinn. Damn it. Bridge Builders up by Buffalo. Not really funny, but wasn't sad either. Just kind of boring.
Oh, come on. That doesn't sound real. Freedom is getting paid what you deserve, and getting enough to get by.
I guess.
Freedom is the ability to be free from pain.
I don't disagree with that.
Do you know any happy
Or I don't
stories?
agree with
Hopeful
that.
ones?
Happy stories? My dude, yes. Want to hear about this adorable couple?
For a moment there.
Yeah.
Just a moment. I felt better about it all, too. Love? It was a real long time ago. I pulled a ribbon on her hair, and her pigtails came undone, and she tattletaled on me. Never really tried after that.
Oh. God.
Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
Okay, man. You are hurting my heart. Happy story. Yeah, two brothers. 50 years.
I liked that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly.
I love that when we tell stories and they make it back to us, they're better versions of the old stories. So if you like a story, you're incentivized to tell it immediately, so you get back a better version of it, rather than having too good to use syndrome, like, oh no, this is too good, I want to save it for when I really need it. Instead, you're like, use it, give me a better version of it.
My family. They were good to me. Mom and Pa, and to Paul, and to my sister Jessie. Some days I wish I could find Jessie again and have her help me.
I wish that I had Jessie.
She always liked Paul best.
Oh. Wish I could find my sister again, and she would help me. But she always liked Paul more. Fuck.
Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
No kidding, man. You were a real downer. Okay, how about the story of these bootlegging women? Not really a joke, but everything else I have is sad.
That can't be true. That sounds like a Navy tale.
Did you get out of a magazine? You said a Navy tale, so apparently you served in the Navy. Weird.
Authority? The law? Well, I had a thought once.
No, you were in the trenches. Ain't no Navy, man.
And I, all
Marine,
of us,
maybe.
have the right to the pursuit of happiness.
But just the pursuit.
Can't say I've held the Declaration myself, but does it say anything about having a right to achieve happiness?
No, my dude, no it does not.
Here's the sun. I've got to go. I'm headed up the road this way. Will our paths cross?
Oh, yeah, I'll probably run back up to you, but I need to get some happy stories, my man.
Days come and go and terrors return. They'll never be able to pay back what they owe me, but I'll always keep at them.
Alright.
What about you? Is there something somebody owes you?
No, there's something... My soul, maybe at some point? The Great War Veteran. Yeah, okay, Mason is a Great War Veteran. Fuck, Mason. God damn, man. Alright, we got 10 minutes. Let's wander around DC and then wrap up this hour. It's hard to look at these shining buildings in the direct sunlight. Feel like an ant crawling amongst the tombs of giants. Away from the monuments, though, you find a city that's a little more human. Let's explore.
The mailman's uniform is dated and worn. He sits on the edge of the road, head in hands. He looks up as you approach. Can you help? Car clipped me. I think my legs... Well, I'd appreciate it if you could deliver this for me. He holds out a brown envelope.
Okay, deliver
The
the
letter's
letter.
addressed to a James Gibson Sr., 120 J Street. But the city stymies you. The blocks run straight from I to K.
What?
You stop a man for directions, but he shakes his head and laughs. Someone's playing a joke on you. There's no J Street.
No, let's keep looking.
Over here.
A woman in a brown coat overheard your question. She steers you down an alley. Someone's chalked a big orange
boy.
J on one wall.
I thought Clovis was late. Go left up ahead. Old Man Gibson's the third on the right.
Oh, so we're just in like a shanty town. Right?
As you round the corner, the world changes. J Street is a place out of time. Like the city forgot an entire street a century ago and carried on around it, oblivious. Even the noise and bustle of DC can't penetrate this little pocket.
Well, knock on
The
Gibson's
man
door.
who answers is ancient and stooped. He peers at the letter.
I think it's from my son.
I don't see so well anymore. Will you read it to me? You tear the letter open. It isn't good news.
Well, like our benefactor said at the beginning of the game, a tarnished truth is better than a shining lie. So I'm not going to lie to him. I'm going to tell him the truth.
He fights it, but his face crumbles. Tears roll down his cheeks. It's better to know. I've been waiting a long time for this. His shaking hand takes the letter. Thank you for telling me.
Move on. Strange street lost in time in Washington, D.C. Now, we don't need to earn money. We also don't need to go to the store, right? We can get a Reuben, some iced coffee, iced tea, scrambled eggs. None of these sound that great. Could also hop a train. Nah, we have money. Let's click on earn money anyway. You wander the streets looking for a way to make some cash. Let's look for work. Hit 4 factories. Nobody's hiring today. Soon you notice you cruising around the city with the same loose group of rejected laborers, coughing men in baggy clothes, women with babies tied to their backs, and an older fellow with only one hand. Nobody wants us. After the 5th factory, everyone makes a silent agreement to give up. You sit on the curb across from the factory doors, eat your sad little lunches together in silence. Screw this city, huh? And with that, I'm gonna wrap up hour 1. I'm gonna keep streaming for 2 more hours for tonight. But if you're watching on YouTube, this is it for today. Thanks for hanging out. Until tomorrow, make sure to comment, share, like, subscribe, all that silly shenanigan. Until then, toodaloo, take care, bye!